The second pertinent point is the second very useful mudra in meditation. I would recommend 20 to 30% of your meditation, you practice the universal mudra. Trungpa says the same thing. And what he also says is, if you're feeling a little dull, try the universal mudra. But it doesn't have to be dull. Maybe you just get a little bored or whatever. 20-30% of the time, I'd practice the universal mudra. The rest of the time, I'd practice the resting the mind posture. Suzuki Roshi explains in his book, Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, the universal mudra very well. A lot of other Zen masters do. Main point, these two knuckles, left on top of right, this knuckle and this knuckle, third finger. You know, it's a real simple way of explaining this. I'm going to go into some of the finer points, which one main point is how the thumbs come together. But I also think this right here is flat. Everything else is going to be real oval shape, but you want a flat shape here. You don't want the whole thing to be oval. You want this part to be flat and the rest of it to be very oval. Without that flat part, you don't really have a good foundation. The thumbs are just either barely touching or not quite touching. Very close, just a few millimeters apart. Just barely not touching or touching. One thing I think you will maybe find at a fine point, some of these are kind of fine points. That's plenty to work with for a while, but I can't help but overdo it. And there's, since I'm teaching this hands, which is kind of advanced shit, I can't believe I'm even teaching all this, but anyway. You don't want your thumbs like this, okay? That's not relaxed. It's not beautiful. I'll tell you what's beautiful is both thumbs just bent a little bit. That is beautiful. I cannot tell you how lovely that is. But it's okay. You're gonna, a few thousand times, you're gonna go boom. Oh, but if you just remember a little bit to go like that, then you go boom because you're tense. But then you go like that, and then you go boom because you're tense. And you go like that. This is not a problem. This is the way. This is the only way. The only way is to never give up. Just keep trying. Failing, keep trying. Failing, keep trying. That's the only way there is. Failing, keep trying. So you want this beautiful oval shape. This beautiful oval shape, and then you'll get like an ugly shape. That's okay. Failing, interesting. How interesting. Keep trying. So you want this kind of a beautiful oval shape up here. Reb Anderson says, be sure that your hands are touching your legs and your stomach. Because your hands will move away, failing. Come back, do it again, you know, over and over. You know, for years, I would just start everything with my good head and shoulders. We'll go over all this in a later time. For years and years and years. But now, that's truly it. But my head and shoulders are bad to I get a lot out of initiating. I always say, I want to enter properly. I want to enter the situation properly. How do I enter the situation properly? In Buddhism, we talk about generosity, we talk about discipline, we talk about gentleness. In Shambhala, we talk about gentleness. When we talk about gentleness, we're saying, how do I enter this situation properly in a way that's not aggressive, but is gentle, but correct and clear there. Not stupid, not aggressive, just interested, and at the same time, he's got an attitude, this attitude of opening yourself to the situation, being curious and being helpful. Walking in there with the idea you could give what is needed, but sometimes we get an idea of what is needed, and because we really didn't enter properly, we enter with some idea. I want to enter with not an idea. I want to enter properly. Then I can see what's needed, and then I can get what's needed. And your hands help somehow. Hands help me activate this. A warrior is like a king sitting on his throne, holding his scepter. I'm going to have to get me a scepter. Maybe I need my scepter here. I look stupid. I'll look even stupider with my scepter, without doubt. But anyway. Trungpa Rinpoche had all these scepters. One thing Trungpa Rinpoche had was a thumb ring. I don't have a thumb ring to demonstrate. Wish I did. Gentlemen, with some people in China and Asia will sometimes wear a thumb ring. You know why? When they go like that, the thumb ring tells them. And then they go back like that. Beautiful. Oops. Good thing I got my thumb ring on. It's immediate feedback. He used to wear a thumb ring. That was like a scepter. His glass of water was like a scepter. That glass of water he did more good work with his, or maybe it was sake. Who knows? You could tell, sort of, different color, but I'm not telling. Just the way he would drink that glass of water was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. Incredible. Incredible how those lips would receive that, how open he was, and how he was just not in a hurry, and not afraid to look like an idiot, really. And nobody would have the nerve to do that because they just would be afraid of looking like an idiot. But he didn't have that fear. And he had something going on that he was trying to communicate. It said he wasn't in a hurry. He used to say, I can't afford to be in a hurry. Think how opposed we are to that. Think how we can't afford to not be in a hurry. We think we can't afford to not be in a hurry. In Alexander, we can't get where he got. I ain't seen one yet, but we try. We try to learn a little bit of what he knew and what he demonstrated constantly. He was the greatest Alexander teacher. Impossible for anybody to come close. Just because he was so interested in everything he did, every movement he did, anything he did, and it was a symbol. Everything he did was a symbol of reality. But he had these fans, and he had these Vajras. Vajra. And we could just learn how to handle things in a way that It's like your sword. A warrior has a sword. And there's a way of holding any implement. There's a way of holding anything, and it's called a Vajra fist. And I'm going to teach you the Vajra fist. And whatever I did, if I was going to teach you Kyudo, the most important thing here we're going to be trying to work on is our Vajra fist. If I was going to teach you calligraphy, the most important thing we would work on would be our Vajra fist. You got 4 fingers and a thumb. This is the lowest. This is the highest. There's a hierarchy. This is called the Lu. This is the lower. These are the servants. They have to do all the work. And they're considered wicked because they're lazy and don't want to do any work. So they have to really be the basis of the discipline. The basis of the discipline is kind of the tightness. If I'm holding a sword, the basis of the whole thing is the tightness of that little finger and the looseness and the middle expression, neither tight nor loose, of the middle finger. So that's the Vajra fist. It's the same with riding a horse. Exactly, you got to learn exactly that. That's the most important thing about far. Holding those reins with a Vajra fist. Tea ceremony, you hold it like that. Same exact thing. Flower arranging, same. Everything's the same. Anything is the same. You know, this is not so good. This is not, you know, it's all right, I guess, but they don't hold it like that in the East, you know. I don't know. When you get all tense and something's gone wrong, you know, you can do this in a way that you don't get tense. You can, but you better be moving from your back, and you better not be, you know, you better move. And you better get those things relaxed that ought to be relaxed. Otherwise, your penmanship is going to be taking you down instead of elevating you. So you go, that's hard. I can't. I'm all screwed up. I'm left-handed, but I should have learned. You got to do right-handed. You can't do it left-handed. It's impossible. And you sure can't get relaxed doing it left-handed. But penmanship, same thing.